It's important when we're preparing to play basketball games that we need to be prepared. In my role with our Olympic teams and World Championship teams, we spent a lot of time on preparing information to help the players play better, to help cope with whatever style of offense or defense the teams were being played. And we did scouting. We scouted every team at least 3 times. We broke the information down into pieces of information we thought would be worthwhile for the players. One of the huge advantages of scouting these days is the availability of, if you can recall information from videos, from stats, from a physical scout where you sit down and watch the game. But the key to it is to make the information meaningful and relevant for the players, so you can influence how they behave in the game. So game preparation is very important. And I'm sure the NBA coaches who have been here at this camp, we've spoken quite a bit about how we prepare teams to play. How do we prepare them physically, mentally, tactically, and strategically to play games? We're in charge of getting that information, making it usable for the players, so when the competition starts, they're in the best possible shape to counter what the offense are doing, but also to play to our strengths as a team. So it's very important game preparation. You need to do a lot of homework. You need to collect information through a variety of methods. You need to be able to summarize the information into information that's meaningful and can be activated for your players. How do you prepare teams then with this information? There are many different learning styles, but the videotape is a very powerful means, or the DVDs these days is a very powerful means of presenting visual information. So it's good for players to have summary information in written form. It's good for the players to be able to have the information in a visual form. It's good then for the players to actually experience walking through on the floor your methods of offense or defense. So then they have a chance of understanding all methods. They can read it, they can see it, they can walk through it on the floor, and then you're in pretty good shape to begin to play the game. The written form will have statistical information on the team's performance. It will also have statistical information on each player and their strengths and weaknesses according to what your strengths and weaknesses are. Then the critical area in the games are the pre-game talk is a summary of all that information. Summarize that information into the 2 offensive things or keys or the 2 defensive keys that you will need to achieve to put your team in a position of success. So we call these the keys to the game. What are the keys to you being able to be successful in this game? In doing this, you need to establish with each of your teams, regardless of your club team, your junior team, some goals and objectives so you can evaluate performance against those goals and objectives. And there are a range of these that you can decide. A simple one to start with is, how many passes does a team have to make against your defense before they get a good shot off? So if it's only 1 or 2 passes and they're getting a pretty good shot, then your defense isn't very good. But with the 24-second shot clock, if they have to string together 10, 12, 14 passes before they get a shot off, then your defense is starting to wear them down. That's just one small statistic that you can have a look at. You need to work out how many points per game you will score, and then you can break that down into quarters. And then you can match that against what they're scoring and break it down into quarters. So throughout the contest, you have a little evaluation points according to your preparation about how your team is performing. Then you need to establish how many rebounds you're going to get in the half. How many rebounds are you going to allow? How many turnovers are you going to force them to? How many turnovers are you going to be able to tolerate? So there's a range of little benchmarks in your team preparation that you can use, and you can make up whatever statistic you want, but it's important for the players to have an objective evaluation against the statistics, as well as a subjective evaluation in what you see and feel. As you become more advanced, you'll have statistics and shot charts available for you during games, and you can evaluate where shots are being taken and where your scouting performances, where your scouting information has been able to influence performance. So I think it's very important when you're preparing teams to play, and then you can relate your game performance then to your practice performance. Because throughout that, you'll have highlighted the things you've done well during the outcome, the end result, and the things that you haven't done well. So then you can that will inform you about what your next practice sessions will look like. What are the things you need to work on? What are the things you need to do during practice to get ready not only for the next game, but how does that relate to your team objectives, your team goals for the season? So preparation for games is important. Often people just look at the win or the loss, but you need to be able to look at the ingredients that make up your performance, and that will influence your preparation. These principles that I'm going to now move into for about the next half hour are principles of defending screens. And when we look at how we teach younger players to play the game, it's important that we talk about general principles that lay a platform for their performance. So in screens, there's 4 principal ways of defending any screen in basketball. There are many others, but these are the 4 principal ones. If the players understand these when they're 15 or 16 years of age, then they will have a good understanding then of the more advanced principles that some coaches may require in defending screens, particularly when you reach the NBA and Olympic level. But these 4 principles are the ones that lay the foundation for the learning about how to defend screens. And we will look at the down screen, the up screen, the back screen, and pick and roll. And in pick and roll, we'll add a 5th into how we defend these screens. So the first one we'll look at is the down screen. So if we can have some red players up, a point, a wing, and a wing with one basketball. Quick. With a basketball, with a ball. Quick. You're on the wing. You're on the wing. You're on that wing over there. Now, to explain terminology, and please, if I use a term you're not familiar with, then please raise your hand and I'll explain the term. When we talk about defending a screen, the basic principles of a down screen is where a screen is set on the perimeter from the top of the court here down. So if you made a pass across here, and if I was defending you, I would generally be in here. I'd be off towards the ball, 2 feet in the lane, hands up. Now you're coming down to set a screen on me right here. So as he's coming down, you would start to walk in, and then depending where I played on the screen would influence your cut. Here's an offensive tip. Let the defense be your instructor if you're an offensive player. You will cut according to where I play. If I play on the low side of the screen, you will cut high. Hold it there. But you'll cut off the screen here. Now we call this hand, hip, and heel. As he cuts off this screen, the hip, and the hand in offense would need to come off this. So he can make a straight cut towards the ball, catch, and then be in good shape to score. If I play on the high side of the screen, anticipating he's going high. He will back cut behind me. So he will come opposite. Come here again. If I follow in his footsteps, if I play low and send him high, I will now trail in his footsteps, trying to get on the outside of his hip as he goes. So that's a trail. If I play inside the screen, anticipating he's going to come up, the screener will change the angle and you will flare cut. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. So understanding those offensive principles of cutting from screens. For every screen, there's a straight cut, a back cut, a curl cut, and a flare cut of each screening situation that occurs. Now, if we understand this, in defense, it helps us. So let's bring two grey guys up now and put a defender on the screener and a defender on the cutter. Quick, just two, only two. Now, in every screening action, there's a screener and a cutter. And we have specific roles for the players in these particular roles when we're defending this down screen. So let's start the ball over there on the wing. We won't have any defence there. Good job. Now, you've made your pass there. Now you're coming down here to set the down screen. So, hold up. You open your stance towards the ball. What are you saying now?
Okay. Whoa.
Screen. Screen coming. Screen coming on your left. Screen here. So a lot of people, when they're coaching, will say screen coming, but the next thing is the most important thing. What's the action required to defend this? Some people say screen coming, don't say anything else, and it's like screen coming and good luck, all the best, hope you have great fun getting over that screen, and so they leave people out to hang. So, what we're going to do now is the first method we're going to teach is to push the cutter over the top of the screen. So you're saying screen coming, and we call this over. Now, you need to open your stance, see the ball. You're going to play on the low side of the screen, which forces him high. You're going to play on the high side of the screen with a hand in the lane and force this cutter to cut high. You are now going to go over the top of this screen. So, you will say, get over, get over.
Get over.
You will help, you will stay. Now, you will be conscious that if he slips, this hand needs to be here. So if he goes to the basket. I should make this point. You will never be successful defending screens unless you have immense pressure on the ball. If you allow the passers clear access to cutters without any pressure on the ball, you'll be in trouble no matter what method you use defending the screen. So in good man-to-man defence, we must have ball pressure. At the moment, we don't have defence on the ball, but we're taking that as a given. So ball pressure, so we buy the defender time. So it's get over, get over. So if you make a straight cut, you're fighting over, he shows, he recovers. So as the ball arrives, you would arrive at the same time. Okay? So let's do that again. This is called over. And in summary, the defender on the cutter plays on the low side of the screen to send the cutter high. The defender on the screener plays on the high side of the screener. Hand in the lane, off to the ball, this hand ready in case the cutter goes, or the screener goes to the basket. And we call screen coming, get over, go. Good, good, stop, good. And so as the ball arrived, he arrived, he's well outside the three-point line. We're in good shape to take the screener if he rolls or slips, so we're not too bad. This is the essence of good defense. Communication, but having a warning there's some action coming, but then having a method of coping with the action. So screen coming, Get over, get over. So, this is where game preparation is so important. If you had a team that was very good at jump shooting, who could catch and shoot really well, and their screens were big to small, you didn't want to switch too much. You would use this method of screening principally. We want people to stay with their people, but we want to help people out so we don't have to switch. So this is called over. The next method is this. If we had a team that screened and the cutters weren't good at recognizing the method of how the screen was being set or how the screen was being played, we can now go through. So the second method is through. We make a pass, the screener comes down to set the screen, you say screen coming, stop. Now this time you can step back and you come through, one man removed, and slide through, because the cutter doesn't recognize that the defense is playing inside and will flare. So you can come through the screen, and as they cut to here, you just pick them up, you close here, and we're set. So this is called through. Let's go. So you'll now say screen coming, through. Get to the ball. Good. And so there we can do that quite well. Come back. Make your pass again. Set your down screen. Now, if the defense, again, weren't really good at their shooting range or coming off this, you can now go under. So you will squeeze, and now you'll come 2 people removed and come through, and we call that under. Let's do that. Same method. Good stance, good hand action. Under, good. So we have over, through, and under. Let's go again with under. Good. As the ball arrives, come back again. And the last method, if we were playing a team that had perimeter people, all of a similar size, and we could switch, then we would switch, and we would switch to deny the ball to the cutter. So we've got over, under, through, and switch. This is switch. Make your pass. Good, hold it there. Now, on the switch, come back again. Come back, set your screen. On the switch, we jump switch hard into the passing lane. Do that. But then you have to get to the ball side of the screener, because on a switch, the better teams will send the screener straight to the basket inside you. Let's go again. So this is switch. Jump to the ball. Switch and deny it. Stay up and deny. Good. Not too bad. Let's go again. So, we have those 4 methods: over, under, through, and switch. You just play a bit now, and what I'll do, I'll just go through this method as well. Make your pass. Come and set your down screen. Force him high, get lower, now stop. Now, if the offense curl cuts on a screen because you're getting over, you're showing, you've got to stay high and bump this cutter. If the cutter tries now to curl, you've got to stand strongly and force them to go high. So, whoops, hold up. Ball back here. Force them high so now you can get through. Bump them, bump the cutter. You keep cutting now. Keep curling. No, keep curling. And you get through this gap. Bump the cutter. Step, keep going. Now, as he curls, you will get to the outside hip. Because you'll be caught up a little, get to the outside hip, forcing the pass to go away from the cutter. Okay? This is a curl. So this is over. This is going to be called over, but you know he's going to curl, so bump the cutter. Bump, keep going. Outside hip, good. Nice job. Most people try and get to the inside of that and get call for foul. Get on the outside hip, get your hand over and go hard, and you more than likely you'll be able to deflect the pass. But of course, You must have good ball pressure on the passer. So the passer can't sit here and make accurate pinpoint passes. The passer has to be down into a reasonable passing lane. Okay, I'll call the method now of defending the cutter. Okay, let's go. Let's go over. Whoops, did you call that method? Did you call over? No, you've got to call that too. You just reflect what I call. Okay, under.
Screen. Under.
No, on under you squeeze. You squeeze the screener, allow him to come through. Okay, let's go.
Screen. Under.
Good, and we're up. It's okay. Bring it back, good. Through.
Screen. Through.
It's all right, good. That's okay, nothing lost. And good work here. We got to the ball side of the initial cut of the screener. So we're in front here, so they get no advantage from this. Come back again. Switch. Good. Hold it there. Now, who calls the switch? The man who's defending the screener calls the switch, because they're in charge of the primary switching action. They know when the switch is going to happen. They know they're going to be the prime instigator of the switch. And so he calls the switch and is out. Okay, curl cut now on this, curl cut. So now this is going to be over, but there's a curl cut. So it's over and curl. Let's call over and curl, go. Bump him, keep going, outside hip. Not bad. Okay. So 4 principles that now we can apply to many screening situations. Over, under, through, and switch. We need to have pressure on the ball handler, pressure on the passer, so that he can't stand or she can't stand and make pinpoint passes. We need to have strong communication between the two defenders. The defender on the screener tells the defense on the cutter there is a screen coming and then the method used. And your preparations will tell you how you're going to defend different screens. Whether you want to go under, through, switch, get over. Your preparations that we spoke about earlier will relate to how you wish to defend particular screens. So they're the 4 principles, and we'll apply them, and we'll do a bit of work on pick and roll and add a 5th principle in defending pick and roll. So let's look at up screens now. And this is about definition. Some people call these back screens. I call them up screens. My definition of an up screen is the opposite to a down screen. It's a perimeter screen set from the baseline up. So, when the pass is made here, you will stand and shape up to receive the ball. Offensively, I'm speaking about now, so now this brings you up into here. So now you will set an up screen with your back to the corner of the court. Yep, you'll come up here and set a screen here. You will have jumped to the ball, of course. Now, hold up. Now here we have exactly the same thing. If you want to go, you can go over this if you want, but in this circumstance, if you step off, we'll go through. So you'll say go through, you'll slide through, you'll be cutting down towards the corner, you'll get to the ball side of the screener, we'll play there. So let's go through on this up screen. Pass.
Screen, right.
Whoops. Now, screen coming, through. And then, yeah, you can say right or behind or whichever you want, but get off and allow him to get through, okay? Through.
Screen coming, go through.
Good. And now we can play and the ball's arrived and we've arrived and nothing's been gained from the screening action. Let's switch it. Same thing. Now who's calling the switch here?
I am.
Okay, let's go.
Screen right. Switch.
Good. And nothing gained from that. So we switch the perimeter screen, away we go. Come back. Pass the ball. Now this time we'll go under. So you'll squeeze on the screener and you'll just slide through 2 men removed. Okay, let's go under this.
Under.
Good, not too bad. Let's go. Let's go under again.
Screen right, under.
Good, not bad, good. And this time we'll go over. We probably wouldn't use over as much on up screens as we would on down screens. So on this is where we have to be careful in that if we give too much help on this, the screen will slip and go through. So come up and set your up screen. Now on this, when you're going to get over, you won't be able to help as much this way, but you'll just extend this arm through here, and then you will trail as he goes over. He's going over this, so now you will go over and just stay with him as we go. You just keep an arm up if the pass is coming back, okay?
Right, screen.
Over, good. Okay, not too bad. So there are the methods that we can use: over, under, through and switch on an up screen. Now on back screens, we can apply the same 4 principles. Make our pass from the point to the wing. Okay, come and set your back screen now. A back screen is any screen set from the keyway out to the perimeter. And we'll have our back to the basket as we come out and set the back screen. So here again, the back screen. Now, you can influence which way the cutter goes by how you play them. So if you want the cutter to flare down to the corner, you'll play on the high side, and now we'll just get over. So you say back screen coming, get over. He's aiming to get through here, to get straight through there. So what you have to do now is to show here. So you have to show here, allow him enough time to get over, and then you have to recover to get back to the inside of this screener before he slips and goes. Bearing in mind now, well, I'm sure Coach Boylan will cover a bit of this. When this action's happening on the back screen, there'll be help on the split line here. There'll be 2 people generally here and here helping. So if there is some confusion or delay, then we can get off and help on this. Okay? So back screen now, and we're going to get over this.
Back screen, over.
Good, keep good. Nice job, good help. We would have ball pressure, and it buys us time to allow the defender on the cutter to make some ground. Okay. Let's come up and set the back screen again. Ball here. Come up and set your back screen again. Now, this time you're going to send the cutter to the corner, but you're going to step off and allow him to go through. So you'll call through, you're just going to slide straight through that gap as the cutter goes to the baseline side. Let's go again.
Back screen, through.
Whoops. Now that often happens. There's a bit of a tangle, there's a bit of a tussle, and that's exactly what the offense is trying to do, cause a bit of a collision. So you've got to say if he's going through, you've got to step off and allow him to get through that gap. Good. Whoops, hold up. He told me you could catch that. Is that right? Maybe, here we go. Good. And then we recover to the inside. Good. We've got nothing lost on that. So now we can also, depending on the size of the people in the screening action, we can also switch this. So we've got under, over, through, and we can switch it if we want. Okay? Let's go make your pass. Screen coming. Good. And you've got to get to the inside, and we can switch that depending on the size of the people in the screen. So now we've applied the principles to a down screen, an up screen, and a back screen. How do we apply them in pick and roll? In this, I don't think we went through under, so we'll just show you that briefly. Let's make your pass and come and set your screen. This time you're going to squeeze, set your back screen. Set your back screen, I'm sorry. You're going to squeeze in tight, and as he goes now, you're going to slide under the screen. Go to the corner. I don't think I went through that with the back screen. That's under. Let's show that again. Under. So on any under, you're going to squeeze the screen and allow him to call it early. Under. Good, good, good. He stayed to the inside of that. We'd have pressure on this pass. It's a difficult pass to make to the back cut. Okay. So the last screen we'll look at is pick and roll, or screen and roll. In the NBA, this is used 60-70% of the time at the end of an offensive set. It's quite regularly used, and there are many methods of defending this, but we'll cover 5. We'll cover over, under, through and switch, but we'll also cover double teaming or blitz. So let's look at the first part of this. You've got the ball here. You can go out now. Come up from here. This is a wing pick and roll. You'll come up and set your screen. Right in here. Now, the first method we'll teach here, if we don't want to switch and don't want to get caught up, is to go over. So the defender on the screen, and I point this out, that we will now have help on the split line here. At the nail, or the top man, or the bottom man on the basket line here. So if there is a slip, we have people here to tag people, delay them, and help. So we've got to remember that while we're drilling this in simply 2-on-2, we will have help defenders here on the split line. So we want the defender on the ball to force the ball handler to use the screen. So you square up and force the ball handler into the screen. The good ball handlers will try and fake and go to the baseline if you go early. You now have your left hand on the hip, your left foot here, and your body facing the sideline with this hand out because you're showing. Forcing the dribbler to go over the top and then buying time for the defender on the ball handler to go over the top of this screen. Over the top. So this is called over. So you will show and then recover to your screener. Let's come back. I'll make the pass from here. Here's the pass.
Screen right. Go over.
No. You've got to show. You've got to show right out here. You've got to have confidence in your players behind that if he slips, they'll pick him up. But we can't have a half show. It's got to be a hard show. Okay?
Right screen. Go over.
Good. Now, whoops. Stop. Go again. As soon as the ball hits the floor and you've forced him to come high, you've got to recover quickly and allow him to get over.
Screen right. Go over.
Good. And you've got to keep coming hard. Stop. If you hear over, you've got to keep going. Okay? This time, we'll go under. So now on this, you're going to squeeze the screener. So you'll play right behind the screener, forearm in behind, squeeze up, and you'll now slide under as the ball handler comes off. Let's go.
Right side screen. Go under.
Good. And then we pick him up, you stay ball side of the screener. Let's go again. This is called under. We've shown over, this is under.
Screen, go under.
Good work. Now, let's go through. So you'll step off, and you'll go through the gap as the dribbler dribbles.
Go through.
Good work. Nice job. You went back again. Good skills, and you were still able to go through and recover. Nice job. So we've had over, under, through, and if we need to, it's the same size in the pick and roll. There may be occasions when you'd switch it. Okay? This time we'll switch. Go.
Switch.
Good. Stay, good. Now you may do this in the last 4 or 5 seconds in the phase of the shot clock. It's down low and you need to switch, not allowing them time to exploit the mismatch. You might want to switch in the last 3 or 4 seconds of a play. So we've had over, under, through and switch. And now we have blitz, which means we're going to double team the ball handler and keep both people on the ball handler until he made a pass out. So how do we set this up? We make the pass, stop, good, set your screen. Again, we force the ball handler into the screen. We take away the baseline. You show early. You can time this however you want, but as soon as this is on, you're going to blitz it. Straight off, you can blitz. Now hold up. You must get both trappers together so we don't get the offensive player splitting between this, and now the dribbler can go, force some mismatches, and we've got 4-on-3, 3-on-4. Remember, we'll have help here behind to pick up the screener. So we call this blitz or double team. Go. Force him into the screen. Good, stay on it, stay good, hold on it. Both players would stay on it until the pass is made. Then we'd have other people pick up and scramble. You guys would sprint back to the split line. One more time. This is called double.
Right side screen, blitz.
Good, good. Okay, hold it there. Let's take a seat. Have a seat. Can we have a round of applause for our demonstrators? They did a pretty good job. So there's some principles. There are many ways of coaching basketball. But if you can teach younger players and players principles from which they can learn and then build on them, then you'll set them up much better for progress in their basketball careers. And in this, there's more than those 5 ways to defend the pick and roll. But the 5 principal ways will then set the players up to be able to understand and implement what's ever required from the coaches at whatever level they play. And then it's about teaching them to understand, and going back to the very first point, through your preparation, which method do you want to use in each of those screening situations. And your scouting reports, your game preparation will inform you about how you want to defend that and why you want to defend that. So congratulations on coming to attend the clinic, and my principles rely on this one statement. Learning is a change in behaviour due to an experience. And as coaches, we have to provide those experiences from which the players can learn to become better, enjoy the game more, and stay in the game more, but then make wonderful contributions to our sport. So congratulations, it's been great to spend some time with you, and now it's over to Coach Boylan.